Hi Aquarius, welcome to Psychic Consultants. This is Agatha and this is your love reading for June 2016. I hope you had an incredible May. I'm sorry I wasn't able to upload videos for May. I had a lot of technological issues which are now kind of semi-resolved. The sound is still a little bit off on this, so hopefully you can hear me. I think it's okay. And yeah, I'm excited to see what comes up for June. Right, so bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords. This is about new beginnings, new clarity, new truth. Victory. This is the victory sword. This is about cutting through all the things that we don't need, all the things that aren't true, basically. Getting rid of all the things that aren't true, the things that don't feel true to us, and really going for it. It also signifies presence for me, because for me, truth can only really exist in the moment. And it can only really be yours. There's only really our truth in the moment, and you know, because tomorrow it might be something different. But this really is about the truth coming through, the truth breaking through, your truth. Right, so representing you, we have the Judgment card, the Seven of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Tower. Representing your love, we have the Nine of Swords, the Death card, the Queen of Cups, and the Five of Wands. And then crowning, the energy they bring, the energy you bring, and the Root we will turn over a little bit later. Just move this down a bit. And yes, bottom of the deck, Ace of Swords. So, starting off with you start off with the Judgment card. This represents the coming together of your divine self and your humanity. It's like you are calling you up to you, for me, with this Judgment card. So it's like this bugle call from the divine, even, or from God or the universe or whatever, the whole, the you that knows, the you that has perspective over everything is kind of saying, I want to work with you. I want to work with you in your body, in this divine body that you have, in your humanity though, with your humanity, with your ability to feel everything, with that spectrum of what it means to be human. I want to work with you. And this feels like a general thing in your life. It's like if you've been feeling a bit disjointed from your life, it's like let that divine flow kind of flow through you. So it doesn't feel like such hard work. So it's basically the message is, you know, take the path of least resistance. You don't have to work so hard. Let yourself be done rather than have to be doing all the time. It's a big energy, it's a major arcana. You know, there's a lot of change going on. There's a lot of change. There's this new beginning with this Ace of Swords. So don't forget that there's truth coming through, but the truth is having a big impact upon your life and this connection. It's really quite apparent. So yes, this Judgment card, you come straight into June with that Judgment card, with that being called to who you really are. Your love has the Nine of Swords as their first card, and this is about anxiety and thought. Too many thoughts causing confusion and causing problems. It feels very similar to this Judgment card. It feels like you're really quite close together and on the same page, as though things need to change. But it does feel a little bit smoother on your side. They kind of start off with a more anxious experience, of more thought. This is more about kind of like working at listening to your intuition with it and tuning into it. This is kind of about staying. It's like being stuck maybe in your humanity and not like that divine flow can't really flow through you. So when you have all these thoughts, it feels like these swords are kind of resisting that flow. But trying to work things out just with the mind doesn't really work. And this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to work things out just with the mind. I think it feels like everything's kind of going wrong. But the thing to do for them is just, when everything is going wrong, is just to kind of chill out with it and take a rest. The interesting thing is, like, they're in bed here, and all they really need to do is take a nap and not be sitting up in bed worrying about things. They really do just need to sleep and wake up with the clarity, which is kind of representative of this death card. It is a bit about kind of going to sleep and waking up again, the experience of death. And they really do need to let go of that, of trying to work life out and let things end when they need to. The death card is about renewal. It's quite similar to this Ace of Swords. But, you know, it can be, sometimes it isn't the most comfortable experience, but it's always a transformation. So there's a big transformation going on with this person, but it feels like a little bit though they're trying to hold on to things a little bit too much with this Nine of Swords. But there's a huge transformation here with this death card. And even though it feels like they've got quite a lot of drama going on their side, your message here with the Seven of Wands is to kind of stand your ground with it. Keep fighting for what you believe in. And I'm getting that actually you can help them by your communication of what you believe in and saying, no, this is my truth. It really is about knowing what your truth is in the moment with that Ace of Swords and communicating it, finding your truth, who you really are, and then standing your ground with it. Because I feel as though they may have something to say. It's like, oh no, this doesn't work. They're in this place where they're kind of trying to work things out logically, and it's not really going that well for them. And they might want you to do the same. And you're kind of like, no, I'm using this. I want to go to a higher place. I want some higher place to be connected. I want to be connected to something, a higher version of myself that knows. Because this is what this is about. This version of you sees. It's just about perspective. Higher isn't better. It just has more perspective. It's just able to see more. From above, from that perspective. So that your perspective kind of wins out. That's what this is saying. Like, really, and then don't be afraid to communicate it, because it feels like they are a little bit holding on, but it will happen. It is occurring, this transformation in there. But it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So maybe also be compassionate. But you've got a lot going on as well. But yeah, it's like it's an ending of a cycle for them, and it needs to happen. It needed to happen. And you can kind of help, your ideas about that can help them through it. So don't be afraid to communicate them. Then there's this interesting balance here with these two queens. It feels like there's a big surrender. So there's a lot of feminine energy on both sides here. It doesn't matter which sexes they are, but there's feminine energy on both sides. It feels like there's a release here with them, with this death. There's this kind of release. They let go. They let things transform. And then they kind of emerge with this Queen of Cups energy, which is a very loving, very much more free energy. She's kind of just letting things go as they are. But she's, this card in this Radiant Rider-Waite deck, this card it looks new to me. The colours and the illustrations are so kind of vibrant and bright on this deck that you can really see all the tiny things in here, and it feels like this is relevant. There's the colours of the pebbles, of the rainbow kind of pebbles on the beach there that she's on. this cup she's holding is really quite grand. It's a completely different level to the cups in the rest of the deck. It's like the cup of all cups. She's really holding the cup of all cups, so it's like this rebirth, this death and rebirth they're being born into this really, really powerfully loving individual. But there feels like she's holding back just a little bit in this card, like she's not quite sailing out to sea. She's kind of looking at this cup and seeing what they need to do with it. So it's like they've reborn into this loving energy. The cups are all about love and flow and emotion. It's like they get in contact with their emotions. It's great. There's too much thinking going on here, and then they become emotional, but it's like they need a little bit of time to get used to it, because it's like they've got this grand, detailed chalice of emotion that they need to kind of have a look at and understand a bit more fully. So they might kind of need the space to do that. And whilst they're doing that, you are represented by this Queen of Pentacles, and this is all about kind of owning your own abundance, living in it, swimming in it. You're swimming in your own sense of abundance and springtime. There is this kind of a renewal here with this card. It feels very much like springtime, and this colour and the flowers all over the place. But it's kind of like you've got to attend to more practical things. But you really are kind of coming into your own in terms of financial security and emotional security, and she's secure. She's secure in herself, this Queen of Pentacles, and it is material things, earthly things, earthly matters. So it's really a good follow-on from this Judgment card. It's like really anchoring and grounding that perspective into everyday life with this Queen of Pentacles. Like let that higher perspective and that higher flow really be in you, and you will. It's happening. It will happen. And you will feel secure. Really kind of secure within yourself. But there is this balance here with those two queens there. As I said, kind of feminine energies. It could be a water sign person, but it feels more like it's just a feminine energy, and then it's important to know with the cups, like how they're now responding to their emotions. And they've got very, very full emotions indicated by that cup, which is why they were kind of trying to balance all their emotions with these swords. But they are moving through that. But then there does seem to be a little bit more to kind of more to go on, a little bit more drama. You then move towards the Tower, so it doesn't feel like it's a bad thing, but it's like you've got to let go of the things that aren't working anymore, and this is the clarity that you find. There does seem to be a little bit of not a disconnect, but it's like there's a lot going on here with them, and there's a lot going on here with you. We'll see what happens with these middle cards, but it does feel like there's a little bit of a lot going on here and a lot going on here. But you are still connected. It's important. There is this kind of symmetry here with these queens, so you are still connected. But there's a lot of change going on. It's kind of like the same thing is going on with the both of you, but in different ways. So yeah, there's a lot of change and growth. But this Tower, it really just feels like it makes sense. You come into your own, and then everything that doesn't really work kind of falls away. But it can indicate like big life changes. So it feels like there could be some really big life changes happening. Moving. Changing a living situation, maybe work situation. Everything. It's kind of like, okay, I know what I want now, and I know who I am, and everything that isn't in alignment with that will fall away. So, kind of go with it. Don't resist the falling away of things that don't really work. They then have this Five of Wands, so I feel like they're holding on a little bit. There's a little bit of conflict here. and it does feel like it might be between their head and their heart. It feels like that's kind of conflict within themselves. It does really kind of feel like you're both kind of going on your own journeys for June anyway. This is just for June. But it feels like there's a lot going on, and it's like there's a lot to assimilate for both of you. There's a lot to think about and work through for both of you in your own individual lives. And even though there is this kind of connectedness, that you are both going through the same kind of thing, it's kind of like you really do need to do it in your own way because it's so big and there's so much change. So let's see what's going on with the middle card. So crowning is the Nine of Wands. The energy they bring is the Five of Cups. The energy you bring is the Two of Pentacles. And the base root energy is the Six of Swords. So yeah, there's a little bit of kind of vulnerability emerging with the both of you, especially at the beginning of the month, or crowning the whole kind of month, is this Nine of Wands, which is about stepping out of your comfort zone into an unknown place and maybe feeling a little bit apprehensive and a little bit vulnerable, a little bit frightened. But it's okay, stay there, stand your ground. You're stepping into new territory. What's that quote? Life begins outside your comfort zone. That's what I'm getting for that. So, keep going, stay outside your comfort zone. Don't go back in and shrink back into where you were before. You're stepping into new territory, the both of you. You are both stepping into new territory, and it's really important that new ground is broken. The energy they bring into you is the Three of Cups. So there's a bit of disappointment towards you, and it's like they can't really see these Two of Cups behind them. Two of Cups representing love and union, and they're kind of seeing these spilt Three Cups. So it feels like there's a bit of disappointment. It feels like you might have said to them, I need to just find myself, do my own thing, with this Judgment card going on, and then maybe that's what causes them this worry, but then they kind of like find themselves and find their truth. Maybe you're kind of leading it, and that you're like, okay, I know what I need to go, and I want to be the best version of myself, and if this isn't what this is, then and the message would be, don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to let them down, maybe, or seemingly let them down, because they do find more of their truth by getting into contact with their emotions and the coming together of their head and their heart. But they may feel as though you're disappointed them, or you're not giving them what they want, or that this isn't love, or this isn't loving. And then the message for you with this Two of Pentacles is that you've got to keep flowing that love, this infinite love that just flows between that. And you've got to keep moving. This can also indicate travel. And yes, it's just infinite love, and it's knowing that love ebbs and flows in that infinity symbol and moves from one place to the other in the same way, like this, in the same way that this ocean moves. And it does. It's a little bit choppy. It looks a bit choppy. There are these big waves here, but that's just the way it is at the moment. And you keep going. Really important that you keep going and you keep loving, and twos are good. Twos are partnership, and then there are those Two Cups there. There is love there. So don't lose sight of that. At the root is the Six of Swords, and this is sailing into calmer waters. So you are sailing into calmer waters, sailing away from the trouble and the tumultuousness into calmer, smoother waters. So just ride it out. Ride out the drama. It just feels like there is quite a lot of drama. Don't get pulled into the drama. Keep your clarity. This is all to find clarity with the Ace of Swords. It's all about finding your own clarity. So just appreciate the movement, appreciate the change, appreciate the drama of things, even, or the way things are playing out and the transformations, because every single thing that happens within that is helping you to find your truth and live your truth, which feels really great. So I'll just put a kind of outcome advice card. Okay, Eight of Cups. So that's really about going on a bit of a pilgrimage, going on a journey. It's really about, this month is really about finding oneself, finding one's truth. And there's nothing wrong with this relationship. There are 8 cups here, there's a wholeness to it, but there's something missing. There's a feeling of there's something missing, and you're both going off to find it, and that's okay. So don't be afraid to go off on your pilgrimage, and don't be afraid to let them go off on their pilgrimage if they need to find their own truth. And it feels like this month really is about clarification of finding your own truth and how you can make that manifest in your life, and bringing together your high ideals, your highest self, with in a practical way. And you may have to do a bit of searching. Travel again feels possible, because I felt like there was kind of movement or moving it in the Tower. I felt there was movement in that Two of Pentacles, and there's movement and travel indicated also in this Eight of Cups. So, whether that's physical or kind of just on an emotional level, but it does feel like the movement is really important for you to kind of take this new perspective out and see how the world responds to it. And don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid to go on an exploration, because it is all about finding and living your truth with that Ace of Swords, and it's about a new beginning. There's a new beginning here being born, and sometimes we just have to let go of things, the things that aren't working, to make way for the new and the things that do work. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit dramatic, it feels like, for June, but definitely by the end of the month, I think it might feel like a lot has happened, but you will have that clarity, and it's going to feel great. Clarity is what we always really want. Clarity is is really empowering. Knowing what we want, knowing who we are, knowing what we want, not being afraid to express it. That's what this is all about. If you're interested in a personal reading, I'll put the link below. Otherwise, please do like, comment, share with other people that you think might find it useful or interesting. Interact with one another in the comments, and I read them all. I like to try and build a community built on love. That's kind of what I would like to do. And yeah, so I really hope you have an incredible June. Ride it out, and look for the magic. Look for the magic, and have fun, because it's all around. It's all around us. And lots of love. I shall see you very soon.